Good morning, everybody. Mike Vacchi, Princetontrader here from Mr. Topstep with your Thursday morning pre-market webcast. Okay, daily chart of the ES. Current trade is 1489.5. We traded as low as 1482.75 in the overnight. We had a little bit of a pullback into the close yesterday, and that pullback got accelerated when Apple did not meet expectations. I'm not a stock guy. The only thing I'll say about Apple is this. The company has been growing in leaps and bounds for the past few years. It's gone from being a fad, to, as fad, companies go. The reality is at some point that stuff becomes a commodity. At that point, the expecting them to continue to beat on the top line becomes unreasonable, and the stock kind of comes back to earth, and I think that's what's happening here. A lot of people have Apple products, and you can't expect that stuff to grow at the rate that that it has. I mean, when they launched the iPhone 5, it was trading about $700, and I think we did 460 last night. That's what happens. So for everybody that still has their Apple 1000 hat on, I would be careful with that. And those of you that are that have held it since it's been 100 or 150 or 200. And if you didn't take profits up there, you might want to think about taking some profits now. I'd hate to see people round trip this thing, all the way back to a lower level. So, back to the ES. We traded as low as 1482.75 in the overnight. 89 quarters the current high. This is what we've seen. The dip buyers come in. They have no fear. The dip buyers have no fear in coming in and buying any dip in the mini, because they can ride it for anywhere from 6 to 15 to 20 handles. And as long as they can do that, nothing's going to change. So for everybody out there looking for the pullback, looking for the market to roll over, that is going to be, where there's smoke, there's fire. It's when we get a dip, the dip buyers come in, and it only pops a handle or two, and then goes back and retests that low and makes a new low. So that the dip buyers either only made a couple handles versus 6 or 10, or they got out even, or worse, they got stopped out lower. Then they buy that lower low, okay, when that stops, and they get stopped out of that one too. That has to repeat itself a few times before the dip buyers say, I'm done. And I know I talk about this every day, and that's because it's the key to this market. The dip buyers are the key. They have to get chased out of the building and not want to come back in, at least until the market goes down and does, say, the middle band and reverts to the mean a little bit, and they find a better place to reload for another run higher. And for everybody out there talking about, 1520, 1540 and beyond, I've heard some really big numbers in the last day or so. Yesterday, you could really start to feel the tension, okay, of a top. That hasn't played out in the price action, but you could definitely feel the tension at the top. If you want to get to those big numbers that you're talking about, the only way you're going to do it is by way of like 1390. You want to go to 1600, you want to go to 1650, then you better pull back to like 1400 to 1390 so that everybody can reload for another move higher, because your first, 80 to 100 handles is going to be a squeeze anyway, and then you move it higher. That's just how markets work. If you think we're going there in a straight line, you're so wrong. You are so wrong. And if you've been in it and you haven't taken profits, I don't even know what to say. You've got to take profits. This is your business. This is what you do. Take profits. Okay? But I would imagine there aren't a lot of people in it. I would imagine that a lot of this is fueled by shorts getting run out of the market every day that keep trying to buy this top, and then when they find out this is not the top, then they get run out of town, and we move higher. So is this a lot of fresh buying? I don't think so. I mean, money comes in at the beginning of the year, but the way the price action goes, you have dip buyers coming in, but what really fuels the dip buyers' profits are the shorts getting run out of town. So we'll have to see what happens. Bears got to get below 83. Bears got to close below 77. Until we close below 77, no pullback is real. The Bulls got to get back over 91.5, make a new high. Start thinking about 94. Once you get into 94, 95.5, up to 98, it gets really thin. It gets really thin up there, and resistance gets to be pretty tough. So that's what I'm looking for today. Okay, everybody, have a great one. Mike Vacchi, Princeton Trader, for Mr. Topstep. I'll be back tomorrow morning with another webcast. Trade them well, everybody.